All right, so it's 10 o'clock. We can go ahead and get started. If you didn't catch the beginning, just go watch the replay. So we're almost to the end of the Momentum Agent Training Series. If you haven't seen them all, I will drop some links in the post after we're done here to my YouTube channel or Vimeo channel, whichever one. They're all uploaded there. Or just search at Jeffrey Rising on YouTube or Jeffrey Rising on Vimeo, and you should find my channel there and go ahead and follow it. So we got this, and there's Marketing Bootcamp. There's Master Team Builder, which I could do in a couple weeks. It's going to take me a while to get ready for that one. I've not taught Master Team Builder before, so I need a little bit of time to get ready for that one. But so Expired Listings Bootcamp is what we will do today. So you might be saying, but Jeff, the market's crazy, nothing's expiring, everything's selling. That's not true. People still are overpricing their listings. So a lot of people have the misconception that a hot market means we can sell it for more than it's worth, right? That's not what a hot market means. A hot market means that if you price it right, it's selling in 1 or 2 weeks. So there are still some listings expiring. Remember, one of the core beliefs of the Momentum series and for our office is homes sell for 2 reasons: price and exposure. So if you do a great job marketing the price, a great job marketing the house, it still needs to be priced right to sell, or the price can be great and you could suck at marketing and it's not going to sell. So there's still listings expiring, and I'm going to show you, if you want to hang out till the end, I can maybe share a different screen and show you how to find expired listings that expired maybe 6 months ago or maybe last year, and just cross-reference those and see if they're still, first of all, see if they didn't sell FSBO or something like that, and then market to those people is what I always coach my agents to do. So we will continue here. Okay, so the purpose of this class is to teach a proactive approach for effectively moving into relationships with people who once indicated the need to sell their home. Remember, this Momentum series is really about creating relationships, relationship marketing. It's about having those listing conversations versus listing presentations. In the FSBO Bootcamp, it's about creating that relationship. So if and when they're ready to list, they're going to call you. Just remember, we're creating relationships here, and there's plenty of things that can happen from that relationship. You can get the listing, you can get referrals, you can work as a buyer's agent for the expired listing or the for sale by owner. So this is going to, the expectation after this class, you should feel confident enough to consistently call expired listings. Hi, Shelly. Thanks for joining. The result would be a substantial increase in revenue. Remember, even if this works for teams, Shelly just joined. She's one of my buyer's agents. This works for teams as well. If you market to expired listings and get a listing appointment for your team leader, your listing specialist, that expired person is still going to buy a house, right? That's still a revenue source for a buyer's agent to talk to expired listings because they're going to buy something else. And you're going to help your team by getting listings, and you can do an open house on that expired listing if your team leader gets it. So, hi Amanda, thanks for joining. Glad to have you here as well. So the larger and more healthy the listing inventory, the more business we have. So really, it's about getting, whether you're a team, whether you're a solo agent, working expired listings works for everybody, because if you're a buyer's agent, you're going to get that buy side. Your team leader is going to get a listing. There's going to be a company sign in the yard, and you could do open houses there as well. So not just for listing agents, expired marketing is for buyers agents as well. So here's the operational model, the plan for expired bootcamp. So what is the thing you're going to do? You're going to market to expireds. You're going to bring in new people into your system, convert them to sellers, put them in your client care systems. Sell that listing. And then you're going to market to that sold relationship with a yard sign, a direct mail, internet, just listed postcards, and the marketing to that prior relationship is what gets you more business, right? You get an expired listing in a certain neighborhood, you sell it, and go door knocking, circle prospecting the neighborhood. Hey, you know what? I sold the Smith's house down the street. They had it listed with 2 other realtors before I listed it, and I was able to sell it. I can do the same thing for you. Are you curious at all what your home might be worth right now? So remember, expired listing marketing to that expired listing relationship is the best, because those people tried and failed with other realtors, and you sold it, and now you can tell the whole neighborhood about it. So remember, there's a lot of advantages to getting expired listings and selling them. So what is this course about? Expired Bootcamp teaches the call to close method, which is a very direct and proactive strategy for soliciting expired listings over the phone. Dialogue is taught in a progressive format, giving you an opportunity to proceed with technique at your own pace. Plans, scripts, and tools are provided. So what is the financial security of a proactive lead generator? You saw this same graph in the FSBO Bootcamp. You saw the same graph in Open House Bootcamp. We're talking about the different phases you go through as you get better at this. Be consistent. You're going to be consistently call expireds or visit expireds every week. Efficiency means you get better at it. And proficient means you develop mastery. Remember, we always talk about getting mastery. The SPAR, study, practice, take action, and reinforce that behavior by going out and do it. Remember, study, practice, and take action. Remember, you need to get with one of your coworkers, another agent in your office, or some other accountability partner and practice these dialogues before you actually do it on the phone or do it at their doorstep when you visit the expireds. So we're going to work off of a 45-week work year. Remember, we're taking a couple weeks vacation. We're taking the weeks off of like Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that kind of stuff. So we're just planning on you taking 7 weeks off a year. That would be awesome, right, if you had 7 weeks of vacation. But we're trying to be conservative with our numbers here, not say 52 weeks a year, 50 weeks a year, 45 weeks a year. Work on your mastery. So the consistent phase, 50 dials per week. So one of the questions a lot of people ask when I talk about dialing or calling expired, calling FSBOs or anything is, where do you get the phone numbers? Everybody has a cell phone number now, right? Give me a thumbs up if you're wondering the same thing. How do I get phone numbers? So we have a product called Forewarn. A lot of MLSs, a lot of associations around the country are offering this as a service. Ours does not. I purchased this for my office. It's not very expensive, and it's a way to look up people's back. The safety feature of Forewarn is you're looking up people's backgrounds before you go visit strangers at a house to show houses, right? So it's a great benefit to Forewarn. But Forewarn, you can do a reverse number lookup. Hey, I've got a name, I've got an address. I'm going to look up this person and find out, and it'll give you some options of what they think the most recent phone number is. You might have 3 or 4 phone numbers. Start with the most recent and work your way backwards. That's the same thing that RedX does. Like, well, I could buy RedX and do the same thing. I purchased RedX a couple of years ago, and that's the same thing RedX does. You put in a name, it gives you all of the phone numbers that they used to have, and you got to go through all of them and find out which one's the right one. So Forewarn is really good. It's not expensive. Get Forewarn, and you can do a reverse lookup and get phone numbers for people, so for these expired listings and for expired marketing. Or a lot of agents just show up at the door. That's a little. Some people might think, well, that's a little bit intrusive, just showing up at someone's door. But agents do it, and agents win listings by doing that. Same thing with circle prospecting, right? So let's say, for example, you're contacting 50 expireds a week, which may or may not be appropriate for your market. Maybe you have 5, maybe you have 10, maybe you have 20. But the point is to get better at your response rate, getting people to call you back, getting better at setting appointments. Remember, the purpose of this expired marketing, the first conversation is to get in front of them. It's not to talk about your products over the phone, talk about your marketing. Let's say, hey, let's sit down and have a conversation about what I think I can do differently for you. So the consequence for consistent is an extra 5 deals a year. Efficiency is 16 deals a year. Proficient, you get really, really good at it. 40 plus deals a year you can get from working expired listings. So, and you might say, well, everything's selling right now. There's not a lot of expired listings. I can show you how to go back in your MLS and find homes that expired 6 months ago or 12 months ago that never sold and start contacting those people. Because at one point they had a need to sell. Why did their need change? Or maybe they just got so frustrated they took their house off the market and didn't want to relist, So what is the expired listing plan? We talk about the no, do, have in every one of these programs. So what do you need to know? I need to know all your dialogues, all your scripts. You can call them what you want. It's a dialogue, it's a script, it's the same thing. Let's not use fancy terms. Everyone's like, I hate scripts, right? So when we teach the momentum dialogues and scripts, we teach you to don't memorize the script. Practice it in your office with someone else. So you get good at it, you put it in your own words, and it sounds like you. Put your personality behind it. So don't memorize scripts and think you're going to get listings that way. It's not going to work. Internalize the concept of the dialogue and put it in your own words. So what do you need to do? You're going to prospect for expired listings and use the call to close method. And what do you need to have? The physical things you need to have. You need to have your call list, have a tracking sheet, pre-listing questionnaire, which are all provided at the end here. And again, if you are watching this, you're not one of my agents, or you're not a RE/MAX agent, email me, jeff@therisingteam.com, and I will send you back a copy of the PDF of this booklet, or message me here on the page. And again, if you're watching right now and you feel there's someone else that can, sorry, there's a gnat flying around me. If you feel someone out there right now could benefit from this, You can send this, share this on Facebook and get some other people to watch. So why call it an expired? Approximately 90% of expired listings still have a desire to sell their home. Making them prime candidates to self-discover and appreciate your unique value proposition. Remember, even in the listing conversion, we're trying to get them to self-discover what a working relationship with us would be like. We're going to make it a win-win working relationship. We're going to help them sell their house, and we're going to get paid. That's win-win. It's okay to talk about that when you're talking to clients. Everyone's like, oh, I can't tell buyers they got to work with me because that's how I get paid. Why not? Be upfront and honest. Sign this buyer easy contract because this is how I get paid. I'm going to work with you. I expect a paycheck. Same thing with listings. Hey, I'm going to help you sell your house. I'm going to get paid. It's a win-win. So stop scratching your head wondering why there aren't any listings in the MLS. Expires and for sale by owners want to sell. That's a fact. They put their house on the market. It expired. It didn't sell. They probably still have a need to sell. They're just frustrated with the process. They're mad at their previous agent, and they don't want to talk to another realtor ever again, right? So that's what you're up against, just so you know. So why call them expired? Because they have a need to sell. Why do these sellers seem so irritated when I call them or stop by their house? Because they were in a 6-month unproductive relationship with an agent. And if you were promised reality on the front end, wouldn't you be a little irritated after discovering it was nothing more than an illusion on the back end? A lot of realtors do the 3 Ps. They put a sign in the yard, they put it in the MLS, and they pray that it sells. They hope that someone else sells it. That's all they do. They don't do any other marketing. They don't do anything above and beyond. They just do the 3 Ps. Put a sign in the yard, put it in the MLS, and pray that it sells. So that's what you're up against. Because, and we're going to go through in a next slide here about how this 6-month journey ended badly for everybody. The typical journey of an expired listing. So the first week, showing activity, crazy. Everyone's looking at the house, right? This is awesome. I'm getting all kinds of people through my house. Agents contact, they're in flow, they're in touch. Or the agents call me with feedback every time there's a showing, or they're sending me the showing time feedback. There's a lot of contact from the agent. Clients' emotions, they're excited, right? First week, everything's awesome. 1 month goes by. As we know, the first 30 days is the most important period. After the first month, showing activity slows down. The agent's still talking to him. Hey, you had a lot of activity the first couple of weeks. This is totally normal. After the first month, that showing activity is going to slow down a little bit. Nothing to be worried about. This happens all the time. I know it's 30 to 45 days. This is totally normal. We already burned through all the people that were in the market when we listed. Now we have to rely on new people entering the market to look at your house. But they start feeling rejected, especially in the market right now, like a hot market when we're telling people, man, homes are selling in 2 weeks. And they're on the market for 30 days. Like, what the hell's wrong with my house? Why do people hate me? Why do people hate my house, right? 3 months go by. God forbid your home is still in the market after 3 months, right? So 3 months go by. Showing activity, almost zero. Very limited. Maybe 1 a week, 1 every 2 weeks. I don't know. Agent contact. Agent doesn't like to have those difficult conversations. They're not even calling the person anymore. That listing's on there. It's listed. People aren't looking at it. That agent's moved on to the next buyer, the next seller, right? A client's emotions, they're completely depressed. We've been on the market 3 months. I'm watching the news. Everybody's saying that homes are selling in 30 to 45 days. I've been in the market 90 days. People must hate my house. What's wrong with my house? What's wrong with my house? Do they not like my decor? Do they not like whatever? Do they not like my kitchen? What's wrong with my house? They're totally depressed that their house hasn't sold. 6 months go by, no showing activity. Agent's totally ghosted them, hasn't talked to them in the last 3 months, and then the client is just mad, right? I haven't heard from my agent in the last 3 months. I heard no one's looking at my house anymore. They're just going to let this expire. I'm totally mad. I don't want to talk to another realtor ever again. You guys are all the same, right? So if you're afraid to make these calls, then you aren't confident that you are any different than the last agent. You must be able to sell your value proposition. Remember, you need to really, truly internalize and believe that you're different than the previous agent. And you need to detach yourself from the outcome. You're calling people or stopping by their house, and they're mad at realtors. They think we're all the same. So you just need to know that going in. You might have some difficult conversations. You need to be able to detach yourself from the outcome because they're mad, right? I just lost my feed for some reason. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's happening here. So we'll just go through this. You guys just get to see my notes, I guess. And I can't find my mouse either. All right. It wouldn't be live if there wasn't technical difficulties, right? All right, let me see if I can do this again. This is what happens when you let your iPad. Right. All right. And we're back. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but I guess my iPad timed out. I got to fix my setting real quick. All right, so the main purpose of the call, the only purpose of the phone call is to move sellers from the phone to a meeting, right? So I got to check my page on my phone here, just make sure we're still good. Give me a thumbs up if we're back to normal here. Okay, the only purpose of the phone call is to move the sellers from the phone to a meeting. You know, it's not about presenting over the phone. It's about efficiently opening the door to as many potential working relationships as possible. We're not going to give them our sales pitch over the phone. We're trying to set a meeting. That's all you're trying to do here. The rationale behind all expired calls is the same. Let's sit down and talk and see if I am a viable option for you. Let's see if we can work together and make this a win-win working relationship. You should be willing to call because you truly believe you have the capability to add value. Like you have to know. Like, it's not being arrogant, it's being confident. I'm confident I can do better than the agent they used last time, right? If you truly believe that you can add value, then you owe every expired in your market the opportunity to meet with you and determine if they can benefit from your approach. Why did we get in the business? To help home buyers and help home sellers. If you truly believe that you're better than the previous agent that let that listing expire, then you have a duty to work with that person. It is your duty to contact that home seller and help them get their house sold. That's what you signed up for when you became a real estate agent. So keep in mind, you can't control what expired sellers ultimately say or do. All you can do is control the number of relationships that you open the door to on a daily basis, your daily calls. You know, I have listed and sold expireds that had 2 or 3 other agents before me personally, and some of them for more money. You know, you have to truly believe that you have something different to offer than the previous agent. For me, it was my marketing plan. You know, every time I have at least 4 to 5 testimonials from expired listings that they had 2 agents before me, or even a couple of them even had 3 agents before me. They tried to sell their house for 1.5 years, and I listed it and sold it in the first 2 to 4 weeks. So those expired listing testimonials are golden when you're going to these expired listing appointments. For better results, become a mad prospector. The top listing agents get mad, mentally tough, absolutely committed, and detached from the outcome. You have to have thick skin. If you are going to get your feelings hurt every time someone hangs up the phone on you, don't call expired listings. You're going to get depressed. You're going to start hating yourself. Like, why don't they like me? Be mentally tough, absolutely committed, and detached from the outcome. Get focused before the call session. 20-minute warm-up procedure. Review your office mission, vision, and values, or your own personal mission and vision statements. Or your core beliefs. We have core beliefs for my team and for the office. Review the core beliefs. Rehearse expired scripts out loud for 10 minutes. Get practice. When I first started doing a lot of video marketing, I would do it out loud. Every time I give a presentation somewhere, I would always practice it out loud because you can practice it in your head all you want. It sounds different coming out of your mouth, and you don't want to trip up on your words. So practice out loud your dialogues and your scripts, and visualize successful conversations and outcomes for 5 minutes. Like, visualize the outcome. The outcome is I'm going to walk into that house tomorrow afternoon when we have our appointment, and we're going to talk about listing their house. Have you ever seen an athlete just show up and get right in the game? What if they started a football game and everyone just showed up, put their uniforms on, and just ran out on the field and started playing, right? It doesn't work that way. Get your head in the game, warm up, and get to a mental warm up, walk around, get the blood flowing, and then you'll have a better outcome if you do that before you make any kind of prospecting calls. Get the blood flowing, walk around the office, put your earbuds in, whatever you need to do to be more active and more lively on the phone. Remember, they always say people can hear you smile through a phone call. The same thing with expired listings. During the call session, energy is key. Again, stand up when you're making calls. Get your earbuds, cordless headset, whatever. Remain upbeat, positive, and confident, but don't go into cheerleader mode. Yay, my company is so awesome, you need to list with me. Don't do that. Just be confident, but not over the top, right? Remember, they're mad at realtors and they think we're all the same. So don't worry if you think if they're you have to approach it like a little bit upbeat, but not over the top, because they're already mad at the realtor before them and they think we're all the same. So sound genuinely interested in helping others. Don't sound desperate. Oh my God, I got to get this listing. I need to pay my mortgage payment. Just sound generally interested in helping others. That's why you signed up to be a real estate agent, to help home buyers and help home sellers, right? I feel like I'm really confident that I can help you sell your house, and I'd love to sit down and talk to you and go over what I can do differently than your last agent did. And stay hydrated. Your brain is approximately 80% water. Remember, sound body, sound mind, sound business. That's one of my core beliefs. Sound body, sound mind, sound business. If you're going to make some calls in the morning, go do a little bit of exercise first. Make sure you're hydrated. Make sure you're eating. Don't starve yourself and be low on energy. Evaluate, learn, release, rejuvenate, focus. So after each call, rate your call on a scale from 1 to 10. Determine if you say, oh man, that was a 6, that call totally sucks. Okay, well, what can I do differently next time to make that a 10? Review that script that you feel like you messed up on, and then rehearse out loud, again, the preferred response. And then you'll do better. Remember, you guys review and reflect and change what you think you did wrong. Make your calls behind closed doors so you can totally focus in the task at hand. Simply going through the motions or making half-hearted attempts only leads to frustration, disappointments, and inevitably resistance to the task. So if you're not in the mood for it, don't do it. If you had a bad morning or something happened, or one of your kids ticked you off before you left the house, or whatever happened, right? Don't walk into your office and shut the door and start making calls if you're in a bad mood. It's going to be projected right over the phone when that person answers. So don't do it. Get your head in the game. Get in the right mindset. And if it's right now is not a good time, take a walk around the block or wherever your office is. Or if you're working from home, take a walk around the block. Clear your head before you make any phone calls. Review your basic listing core beliefs. Homes sell for 2 reasons: price and exposure. Why didn't you think your house sold last time? Well, my agent sucked. Okay, well, how did they advise you on price? Well, we didn't really talk about it. They just told me what to list it for. Okay, and you can borrow some of these things from the Listing Conversion Bootcamp as well. 95% of all buyers are represented by a realtor. Realtors are not looking through home ads or taking virtual tours. This is good also for sale by owners. That's fine, but most realtors don't go to Zillow to look for sale by owners to show their buyers. It needs to be in the MLS. Homes sell all year long, in all 4 quarters of the year. That's one of the things. Oh, my agent said it was homes don't sell in the winter. That's why it didn't sell. Well, that was just their damn excuse that they didn't do a good job, right? My approach is intentional and proactive. We must start with appropriate plans and strategies. These are all a lot of the things from the Listing Conversion Bootcamp as well. There are 2 different approaches to listing homes. Remember, the other agent's approach was the 3 Ps. They put a sign in the air, they put in the MLS, and they prayed that someone else sells it, and it didn't work. So let's get together. Love to go over my plan with you, and so I can show you how I can help you get your house sold this time. Once you're in the correct mindset, let's get on the phone. And again, where do you find phone numbers? You can use RedX, you can use Forewarn, do reverse lookups, things like that. Whitepages.com if they have a landline. There's ways to find phone numbers. If you don't want to call, then show up at the door. Use mailings to get people to call you, whatever. So look up their phone number. You'll have to do some digging to get a phone number through Forewarn. Call number 1, they get their voicemail. Leave a message. Make it vague. We're going to go over the dialogue in a second. Call number 2, leave a more specific voicemail if they don't answer. And if no call back, send them a letter in the mail. I have a ton of expired marketing letters that I wrote myself, a 7-letter plan that I wrote. We'd love to share it with anybody out there. That's not in my market, obviously. So, okay. First call, if you get their voicemail. Hey, this is Jeff. I'm calling in regards to your home for sale. Please get back to me at your earliest convenience at blah, blah, blah. Thanks, and I hope you're having a great day. I didn't say I'm a realtor. I didn't say my company. I just said, hey, this is Jeff, and I'm calling about your house. You call the second time if they don't answer. Because a lot of people just don't answer numbers if they don't recognize it, right? So you might get voicemail every time. Hey, this is Jeff Rising with RE/MAX, and I specialize in homes that should have sold but didn't. Please return my call at 517-605-1286 so we can discuss other options you have for getting your home sold. Thanks, and I hope you're having a great day. So I've identified myself like, hey, I'm a realtor, but I think I can do something different. I specialize in selling homes that should have sold but didn't. Give me a call back, and I'm going to tell you how. Or, hey, this is Jeff at RE/MAX, and I would like to talk to you about a more effective, proactive way to sell your home. Please return my call at 605-1286 so we can discuss other options you have in getting your home sold. they think they're out of options, right? They don't know there's other options. They thought their only option was to list it with a realtor because we're all the same, put it in the MLS, and someone should have bought it by now, or else there's something really, really wrong with their house. They don't know that they have other options. So you need to tell them, hey, we have options here. Here's some things that I do differently than other realtors. Building the consistency habit. The first goal of any activity is to build confidence and consistency. We talk about that all the time in our business. Consistency is key. Your marketing, your social media, calling FSBOs, calling expireds, working with buyers. Consistency is key. Like if you do a lot of Facebook marketing, you're not going to do one Facebook post every 8 weeks, right? Consistency is key. Posting every day, posting a couple times a week, whatever your plan is. Same thing here. You need to be consistent with calling expireds to make it work. Don't do this for 3 weeks and then send me a message say, hey, your program sucks. Expired listing marketing doesn't work. Well, how long did you try it? Well, I did it for 3 weeks and I called 5 people. Well, okay, then it's not going to work, right? You need to be consistent with this and then call me in 6 months and tell me whether it worked or not. Okay, if it's not working, then we can adjust. We can role play some of your scripts and dialogues. So a nice little flow chart. The goal is to make calls daily and build consistency. It doesn't have to be perfect. Do this for the first 20 calls. Don't fight objections. Thanks and have a great day. So when you start doing this, we're not trying to get pro here. We're just trying to contact them, get used to making consistent phone calls, and then we can work out the advanced dialogue later. But right now, you just need to get in consistent phase. And once you hit a roadblock, say, okay, thanks and have a great day, and let them go. Right? We're not trying to do it perfectly the first time you start. So hey, my name is Jeff with REMAX. I noticed your home listing expired today and was calling to see if you have a desire to sell your home. Hey, don't be surprised if, by the way, like, what do you mean my listing expired? A lot of agents, unfortunately, don't call their people 3, 4, or 5 days ahead of time and say, hey, by the way, your listing's expiring, next Friday. Hey, let's get together, see what we can do differently, or maybe the agent's sped up at that point too. Maybe the seller was a jerk and doesn't want to reduce their price or something, right? So don't be surprised if they don't know that their listing expired, because a lot of times they're not going to know that. So I just wanted to call to see if you still have a desire to sell your house. Yes, I do. Great. May I set an appointment to come by and share with you a proactive plan for getting it sold? Hopefully the answer is yes. Great. Then you jump into your pre-listing questions. If they say no at any point, when you're just starting this, if they say no at any point, just say, okay, thanks and have a great day. Get off the phone. I need you to get in the habit of making calls and don't get defeated by trying to handle objections and getting beat down by these mad home sellers, these expired listings. So once you hit a roadblock, just get a no, just thanks and have a great day, call the next person. As you get better at it, then we can start handling objections and getting some more advanced dialogue. This is when you become more effective. Here's what happens when you hit a no. So, hey, are you still serious about selling your home? They say no. Have your plans changed? Remember, last time if they say no, we say, okay, thanks and have a great day, but now we're getting more confident. We're going to become more effective at this. They say no, they don't want to sell their house. Have your plans changed? No. Well, why do you feel your home didn't sell last time? And you're just going to continue that conversation as you get better at handling these objections. You can read through these on your own time. If you don't have them, I'll send them to you. Practice these in your office with someone else. When in doubt, ask the following questions. Why do you feel your home didn't sell? I don't really know. You're going to get a few different answers, but they're all going to be the same. It was the wrong time. My agent was terrible. I feel we overpriced the house, but we followed the advice of our agent. I've heard that one before. A lot of times the home seller thinks the house is overpriced, but the agent gives them an inflated value because they think they're doing them a favor. Hey, I think your house can sell for $200 when the seller thinks it can sell for $180. But they hey, the agent's the expert, right? I'm going to list it for $200, then it doesn't sell 6 months later. So you're going to get a lot of different responses, a few different responses over and over again. So you only have to handle objections for the 2 or 3 responses that you're going to get every time. I wish you realtors would stop calling me. You're going to get that. I understand your frustration, and my intent is to not harass you, but rather help you sell your home. So what do you say? Are you open to a more proactive way? We are going to relist with our current agent. Great. Have you signed the extension yet? If yes, get off the phone. If no, then you keep the conversation going. Remember, there's not an infinite number of responses that you'll hear. You'll hear the same common objections, so get used to how to respond to those. These are the common objections you're going to hear that we're going over right now. We're going to take it off the market. Well, if I could sell your home in the next 30 to 45 days, would you? And just ask that question. Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, if my last agent had it for 6 months. You think you can sell it in a month? Are you saying you can sell my home in 30 to 45 days? I am. However, I first want to make sure the plan we implement falls well within your definition of a win, because we know that we can sell it in 30 days in today's market if it's priced right? But we don't know if our price right number is their price right number, right? Or if it meets their financial requirements. We know we can sell it with our marketing plan, with great professional photos, with our drone photos, with a video tour, but the price needs to be right to sell it in 30 days. So yes, we know we can sell it in 3 days. We just don't know if our price is going to meet their financial requirement. That's why we have to have a meeting with them. Then we can go into our listing conversion once we have the face-to-face meeting. What do you mean my listing is expired? Again, don't be surprised if they don't know that their listing is off the market. The MLS shows your home is no longer available for sale. Do you have a copy of your listing agreement? When was the last time you heard from your agent? Feel free to throw them under the bus, man. That thing's been on the market for 6 months and it hasn't sold. When was the last time you heard from your agent? I haven't heard from my agent in 2 months. You're going to hear that. So get used to these common responses and know how to react. Again, practice these. This is like a fun role playing exercise, right? Someone gets to play the pissed off expired home seller, right? So it's a lot. Just have fun with it, man. Get someone in your office and practice these scripts. Someone gets to play the bad guy. Get a little bit of frustration out. Give the person who's the agent, give them a hard time and make them really, really think about the responses. Because the more you practice these in your office with someone, the better you are when you're actually talking to the expired listing. My realtor told me it was the wrong time of year. It's been my experience that homes sell all year long. Did your agent show you the quarterly trends for your neighborhood? Would you see value in that kind of information? If we could show them January to March when your home was on the market, 10 other homes sold in your neighborhood. So why didn't yours sell? Homes sell all year long. We know that. We're in Michigan and people think, homes don't sell in the winter, but people in Michigan are used to the cold, they're used to the snow. People are shopping all year long. So that's not a thing, right? Do you have a buyer for your home? This is a great question if you're a team leader and a listing specialist for your team, because we don't work with buyers. That's an easy answer. I focus 100% of my time on getting my listings sold. I don't work with home buyers. I have buyers agents on my team that do that. So no, unfortunately, no, I don't have a buyer for your home. One of my buyers agents might, but I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to list your house, and that's the only thing I do for our team is I sell homes on the listing side. I'm an expert at marketing, and I'm an expert at getting homes sold. That's what I do. How much do you charge? That's a great question. Since my commission is understandably very important to you, how about I come out and I share my plan to sell your home? At the end of our meeting, I'll let you determine what I'm worth. That's an easy end to getting the meeting, in getting rid of that question. You've all got floor calls for listings. How much do you guys charge? That's the first question. That's the listing you don't want, right? If you can't get them past the how much do you charge question, then you don't even go on the appointment because they're looking for the cheapest realtor. They see no value in what you do, and they think that all realtors are the same. They're just looking for the cheapest deal. So how much do you charge? That's great. Hey, let's get together. I'll show you what I do, and at the end of our conversation, I'll let you determine what I'm worth, right? And if they say 4%, 3%, then next, you don't need the listing, right? This is getting into some more advanced dialogue. Again, you can take these and practice them when you're role playing. When all seems lost, go to one of the following power phrases. You should never say no until you know what you're saying no to. There may be opportunities available that you never knew existed. Remember, they don't think they have any other opportunities other than putting it in the MLS. There are other things to do besides putting in the MLS for marketing. So they don't know those opportunities exist. So we're going to say, hey, don't say no unless you know what you're saying no to. Let's get together and I'll show you what I do differently and show you the different opportunities we have to get your home sold. Worst case scenario, you'll find out exactly why your home didn't sell and receive a specific plan on how to get it sold. Hey, I'm going to show you my marketing plan. You don't want to listen to me, fine, but now you have some more information that'll help you out next time, right? Who knows? We may just find out we speak the same language. You might really hit it off and have a good win-win relationship there. At this point, what do you have to lose, right? Exactly. They just spent 6 months on the market with someone else. They're really frustrated. They're really mad. They had a ton of people walking through their house and never sold it. But hey, at this point, what do you have to lose? Like, you still want to sell your house, and I have a different plan, so let's get together and talk about it. You gave your previous agent 6 months. I'm just asking for 1 hour. That's an easy one, right? You gave your previous agent 6 months. All I need is 1 hour of your time. And again, I wouldn't be calling if I didn't think I could help you. You have to really, truly believe that you can help these people, because that confidence transmits over the phone. So you have to know and have to be really, really confident that you're the person for them. I wouldn't be calling if I didn't think I could help you. So what do you say? Just let that hang there for a couple seconds. Stacking power phrases. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. So you can do this when you're role playing. If they're still saying a no, hey, you should really never say no until you know what you're saying no to, because there may be some opportunities available that you never knew existed. I mean, wouldn't it be worth an hour of your time to discover there might be a better approach to selling your home? Worst case scenario is you'll find out exactly why your home didn't sell. You gave your previous agent 6 months, and I'm only asking for 1 hour. So what do you say? I mean, at this point, what do you have to lose? So that's stacking all of those power phrases all into one paragraph. So just practice this whole thing, memorize it, practice it, put it in your own words, internalize the concept, and put it with your own personality. You're the 22nd person that called me today, which, depending on your market, you probably won't be. There's not a lot. Believe it or not, there's not a lot of realtors that market to expired listings. You know, that's one of the biggest drawbacks I've heard from realtors is that they don't market to FSBOs, they don't market to expires because they think everybody's doing it. But you'll be really surprised that not everybody's doing it. So don't worry about that. I wish you people would stop calling me. I understand your frustration. My intent is not to harass you, but to help you. As I said, I specialize in homes like yours. So wouldn't it be worth an hour of your time to see if there's a better approach to getting your home sold? Remember, have fun with this role playing in your office. Someone gets to be the bad guy and be the mad home seller, and really put them to task, and so you can get really, really good at this, right? Oh, this is a good one. We're going to relist with our current agent. Why? What the hell? Right? Why would you do that? Great. Have you signed an extension yet? If they say no, wait, well, let me ask you this. So what do you plan to do differently this time around? I don't know. Well, they're just going to relist. You know, they've already had it 6 months. They already know our house. You know, they've already got the pictures, blah, 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 whatever their answer is. Well, wouldn't it be worth an hour of your time to see if there's a better alternative for selling your home? Hey, worst case scenario, you'll find out exactly why your home didn't sell. You know, you gave your previous agent 6 months. All I'm asking for is 1 hour of your time. So what do you say? Besides, I wouldn't be calling if I didn't really truly think I could help you. At this point, what do you have to lose? Remember, stack all these power phrases to make it more effective. We're going to take it off the market. Well, hey, if I could sell your home in the next 30 to 45 days, would you? So go into that conversation. Well, hey, all I need is an hour of your time. Let's talk about it and see if we can have a win-win working relationship in getting your home sold this time. Are you saying you can sell my home in 30 to 45 days? I am, because we know we can, right? If it's priced right and we do our marketing, our plan that works for every other one of our listings, we know that we can get an offer in 30 to 45 days. So yes, if you're not confident you can do that, then don't use this one. We don't lie to people to get in the door. There's a lot of realtors out there that lie to people, lie to expired listings specifically to get in the door. I've had a lot of my clients, our listing years ago when the market wasn't so great, the listing expired. They wanted to wait the 15 or 21 days, whatever your MLS requires to relist, to have it show up as a new listing. And an agent would call them and say, the day after it expired, hey, I've got a buyer for your house. Like literally the day after it expired. So they would call me and say, hey, this person called me, said they have a buyer for my house. I would call that agent like, oh, they changed their mind. Like, bullshit, you didn't have a buyer for their house. You're lying to people to get in the door. We don't lie to people to get in the door. So if you don't really believe you can sell it in 35 days, don't use this one, because we don't lie to get listings. What's the difference between a consultant and an agent? That's a great question. The answer is all in the way they behave. Basically, a consultant asks instead of assumes. Listens instead of talks, and is interested in satisfying your needs as opposed to simply taking a listing, right? Remember, our goal, we signed up as a realtor to help home sellers and home buyers. Our goal is to help them get their house sold, not just to stick a sign in the yard to use it for leverage. By using it for leverage, I mean we don't stick a sign in the yard just to get more buyer leads, right? Our goal is to sell the house. You know, we've always heard that phrase, hey, it's a great place for a sign. Hey, I took an overpriced listing because it's on a main road. Now people can see my sign. We don't do that. Our goal in to get the listing is to help them sell the house, right? What do you mean my listing expired? That's an awkward conversation to have, but it happens, and don't be surprised when the seller says that. Like you showed that timeline before, after 3 months, their agent goes to them. If that home hasn't sold in 3 months, I can guarantee they haven't heard from their agent in at least 60 days. So don't be surprised if you hear this. Well, the MLS shows your home is no longer available for sale. Do you have a copy of your listing agreement? How long has it been since you had contact with your agent? Remember, it seems like it may be worth an hour of your time to discover a more proactive approach to getting your home sold. Worst case scenario, you'll find out why your home didn't sell. Remember, we're offering a service, we're offering information, we're trying to get a conversation, and we're not giving them our sales pitch over the phone to get their listing. My realtor told me it was the wrong time of year. We're going to talk about home sale all year long. Did your agent talk about the quarterly trends for your neighborhood? What do you mean you specialize in homes that didn't sell but should have? And can kind of go in that. My role as a specialist is to help you put together the appropriate plans and strategies if implemented will result in getting your home sold. It's been my experience that homes sell for two reasons: price and exposure. Since your home was in the MLS and exposed to 100% of the realtors in this area, that leaves the price. How did you arrive at the price with your previous agent? Did your previous agent help you put together an appropriate pricing strategy? Or did she just tell you that what she thought it was worth? You're going to hear all the time, most agents, we talked about the listing conversion and the pricing bootcamp. Most agents come in with the CMA, they put a 40-page market analysis in front of them and say, hey, here's what I think you should list your house for. They don't talk about it, they don't do anything, they tell the seller, here's what we should list your house for, and that's what they list it for, and sometimes they're wrong. Do you have a buyer for your home? Not currently. So if you are an agent that also lists and sells, this is yours. Not currently. However, I do receive calls on a daily basis, and should your home fit that criteria for one of my buyers, it would be the first one I would show them. I mean, wouldn't it be worth an hour of your time? And we go through the power stacking phrases again. But if you're a team leader and all you do is listings like me, you could say, that's a great question, but I'm a listing specialist and all I do is listings. 100% of my time is devoted to getting your home sold. I don't work with home buyers. That way, when we do get an offer, I can guarantee that I'm representing only you in the transaction. How does that sound? Most people appreciate that. So if you're a listing specialist team leader, just use a different type of dialogue for this and just sell them on the fact that you don't work with buyers, you only do listings, and you're only going to be on their side during the deal. You're not going to do dual agency. That's a big deal to a lot of people. I just want to be left alone. You're all the same. I know you're upset, and believe me, you have every right to be mad. What I'm attempting to do is, by calling this, demonstrate some assertiveness. The way I see it, had your last agent been this proactive, your home should have sold by now. So again, use these in your role playing. Why didn't you show my home when it was for sale? Again, that's if you're a listing specialist team leader, that's a good question. No, I'm sorry, I don't work with home buyers. I work with home sellers. That's a good one. Or if you're a solo agent that does both, listings and buyers. That's a great question. I appreciate you asking. See, I'm not just in the business of showing homes. I'm in the business of satisfying needs. So obviously your home did not match the criteria for any of my clients while it was on the market last time. Again, there's always a good answer that's beneficial for you in all of these role-playing dialogues and scripts. Alternative opening dialogues. Hey, Mr. Smith, this is Jeff with RE/MAX Main Street Realty. Listen, I don't want to bug you because you've probably been bombarded with calls today. However, I do specialize in homes that should have sold but didn't, and I'm simply wondering if there would be a good time for me to come by and share with you a proactive plan for getting your home sold. That's an easy one. Here's some of the tools that you'll need for staying consistent. Remember, consistency is key when you're working with expireds. You need to track your calls, track your dials, track how many people you talk to, track how many appointments you set, track how many meetings you have that were kept, and then track how many listings you got per week. Remember, whatever you track improves. So if you don't keep track, it's not going to get better. If you know that you contacted 10 expireds and you didn't get a single one of them, then you know you need to do something differently, right? But you don't know that if you don't track it, because you're going to forget that you called 10 expireds and that you didn't get any of them, because we try to put that out of our mind, right? So track it and you'll get better at it. And again, you're going to write down the bottom things that you're glad you did that worked, and things that you wish you'd done that would work better, and whatever lessons you learned during the process. Definitions for your tracking. Dial is a phone attempt. You called somebody. The talk is the voice-to-voice contact. You talk to somebody. You set the appointment. Face-to-face meeting. And then, of course, the listing is a signed listing contract. Pre-listing questions that were also in the listing conversion. So you're just going to start asking them some questions about their house, get some details so you can be prepared for your meeting. This is pretty standard. You might have your own set of pre-listing questions already. And that is it. Thank you for joining today. That is Expired Bootcamp. Again, and if you don't know how to find expireds in your MLS, it's pretty simple. Since I've been having trouble with this, I don't want to try to go to my other screen to show you, but really just go in your MLS. I did it this morning. Search expireds that expired between, put in expired, go to status date. I put January 1st, 2020 to June 1st, 2020. There was 101 expired listings in my market that expired during that time. So it is time intensive. So what you have to do is you have to take that list, homes that expired 6 months ago, homes that expired last year, and go back in the MLS and put them in address by address. Hey, did it get relisted? Did it sell? Did it get relisted? Did it sell? And go to your assessor's website. Hey, is there a different owner's name on this now? Did it get foreclosed on? Those kind of things. Or if you don't want to go through all that, just call them anyway, I guess, right? But you should at least cross-reference it in your MLS to make sure it wasn't relisted by someone else and sold, because a lot of the ones when I pulled up Adrian, there's 3 or 4 of those that were mine. That not my expires, but homes that I listed that were expired that I ended up selling. So if there's not a lot of expired listings right now because the market's hot, go find some homes that expired earlier this year or last year. Cross-reference them to see if they ever sold, and that is your call list. That is your expired call list. That is your expired mailing list. There's ways to do it. Even in today's market, there's still expired listings out there, and it could be a legitimate part of your listing inventory business. So thanks again, and if you need the material, message me here, and I'll send you the PDF. Other than that, I will see you next week for, I don't know if I'm going to do marketing bootcamp or team building, but I will post the event next Monday or Tuesday. I'm kind of leaning towards team building because a lot of people have had some questions about that lately. So talk to you soon, and have a good one.